Yeah, man, you could actually. I mean, you can pull it. It's actually slack under here, so you can pull it. Yeah, cool. You don't gotta sit all up on it, man. Relax. All right. All right, what's going on there, guys? It's going to be episode number 26. Moving right along, like I said before. Got my guy here, Mike Patton. Said your name correct, right?
Yeah, that's me.
All right.
Yep.
So we're going to get to it a little bit. Let him introduce himself, what he does, and everything, and get right into it and everything. Again, for you guys out there who are like new to the podcast, this is only the 26th episode. Started about back in, it was like April, and we're moving far along. Again, you guys probably seen from maybe even 10 episodes ago, I was in the shop and everything was kind of like, scrunched together. A lot more better quality here. The lighting is good and all that stuff like that. So it's moving right along, and you guys are right along for the beginning. So it's going to blow up, but it's going to take a little bit while to get Steam views and things like that. The way you guys can help out is just go ahead and share it, like, subscribe, and do all that good stuff. And also, if you got questions or topics you want me to discuss, because when I'm by myself, I just kind of ramble on about whatever's going on that day. Or if I got a guest here, it's more about the guest and not about me. So those are pretty easy. But for the solo events, if you guys got questions or topics you would like to discuss or stuff you want to know in general, you want me to expound on that I've done in the past, kind of limited space with the other videos. Podcast is more long format, so I can go more deeper. So if you got questions and anything like that, send out the podcast at pinku.com and I'll get to it. So anyway, jump right towards my guest here, Mike Patton again. Thanks for coming on and everything.
Yeah, man.
So just right into it, man. Let the guys know, age, where you're from, how you got to Japan, and a little bit of stuff about you, miscellaneous. Then we'll jump right into it.
Okay. So, 35. Feel a lot older.
Yeah, you look young, man.
So I've been out here about almost 8.5 years total. It's my second time out here. I was working on the bass back 8 years ago.
Pull a little bit closer to you. You pull the mic.
Okay, yeah. I was working on the bass about 8 years ago. Went back to the States, came back, got married. Now I've been out here.
So you probably I think you got married at the through the bass or whatever, or the.
No, I got married over at Kizan off bass stuff.
Because I remember the first time because we'd seen each other online.
Yeah, right.
And then I think the first time we seen each other in person was at the what is that, the not the OSI, man, but the legal office. Because did you ever do anything at legal office for your wife?
I did. That was before.
Yeah. So okay. So I seen because I was getting married that day. And actually, no, I was doing the stupid paperwork.
Right. Yeah.
And then you were sitting in the.
We were headed opposite directions.
Okay. All right. Now I'm bringing it. Yeah. But yeah. So you're a vet, man. No, this is my first one.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's why I remember we met and everything, and then I seen you here and there doing the selling car parts and things like that. But as far as the biggest thing, man, is initially go ahead and promote your Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that. Where can people find you at?
Yeah. So Facebook is Wickaudio, Wickaudio. Instagram Wickaudio IG.
Okay.
Some dude has Wickaudio.
That's all good.
Not audio related.
And I'll do it. I'll go ahead and I'll drop it in at the end of the video, and I'll drop it in there and everything, and I'll actually edit it in and everything so people can see. Right, and this again, so you say you're from where you from?
Kind of all over. Born in South America, moved around the States. I came here from Florida.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not military brat or?
Nah. Just we moved a lot.
Yeah, man. So you got moved around and everything. So as far as getting into, because again, the biggest thing I want to push initially, because people, ADD out there and they kind of ADHD, whatever we call it, guys kind of watch the first 10 minutes and then they click off the cat videos. Yeah. What as far as your job, what you do, but more seem like you. Of course, most guys are more passionate about things outside of their their regular jobs. So as far as the audio, how did you get into audio and stuff like that?
It's been something just kind of by necessity. I've always liked audio. I've been doing music since I was a kid. As I got older, got into music production. It got to I hated the way music sounded in my car. I wanted it to be crisp and clear, like it sounded in the studio.
Right.
So, but I was broke college student, had no money. I saved up money to get speakers and stuff. But I couldn't pay anybody to install that stuff. So it's I knew a bit about wiring just from doing stage audio and stuff. So I was I guess, learn by necessity.
Yeah.
So got started, chopping things up and, had a 240SX hatch.
Okay.
Then after that, that died. So I got a Vitz because I needed to drive up to DC commute. So I needed something with good gas mileage. I ended up day 2 from the lot, like had the back panels ripped out, cutting holes, you know, like putting stuff in. Yeah, so it kind of just went from there, experimenting, learning, based, you know, just wanting to do new things that, you know, at the time couldn't afford to have somebody do. So
yeah, man.
You know,
I mean, it's like I mean, this even how I got started, man. It was the same thing. I went to I had the 86 Celica, and now I told the story before. The guy told me all the stuff was wrong. I was like, this dude is like ripping my chain. But actually, now what I know and what I seen, he was right. Everything that could leaked. And you know, I was like, man, you know, I went there, and I never took my car has never been nothing against it, but my car has never been to a shop before. Like I just had it and everything. Right. So far as the, you know, you said you got in the audio, and you mentioned stage stuff. As far as the were you doing, what kind of production were you into?
So I used to be in like gothic rock bands.
Okay.
We were traveling, doing a lot of concerts, but we played like we would bring our own sound system. Okay. Because a lot of times you go to a small bar, they may have a sound system.
It's shitty.
They might not have anything, or the stuff they have might be trash.
Yeah.
So
community.
we'd go up early, set up usually, and then run. If there were other bands playing, we just handle sound for them too, at smaller venues. And I'd grown up doing, like, my dad was, you know, a pastor and stuff, so I grew up doing house sound in churches and stuff. You know, and you have to repair wires and, you know, soldering and stuff like that. So, so that's kind of how I got into that. And then when I got over here to Japan, actually there's a dude, Nate Sinners. He used to be kind of like the sub guy on bass.
I've seen the name before.
7 years ago.
It's like a Masawa, like audio page.
Bassheads, yeah. He started it. Now I'm one of the admins on there.
Sender's kind of small white guy.
Yeah. So he used to build the boxes, and we happened to be we were on base in the wood shop. We happened to be in the shop at the same time, and he saw the stuff I was building, and like he liked it. He was like, dude, that's nice. And so we ended up working out. He came from more of a wiring background, but I was, you know, doing like nice custom boxes and stuff like that. So we ended up working out where but people knew him, so they'd contact him. He'd take measurements and stuff, send me the info. I'd build the boxes, give it back to him. He'd wire it into the thing. Well, then he left. Yeah. And so that kind of became me. So then I went back to the States, came back, and like everybody I knew was pretty much gone. Yeah. So like had to start from scratch again. But now it's been just kind of word of mouth. Earlier this year, a couple dudes hit me up, and then they had built-in factory amp systems, which are a nightmare. Local shop quoted him like 60,000 yen to replace it, and he was like, I can't do that. He was like, all right, come on over, I'll take care of it. It was a pain, but we got it worked out. So then they told their friends, and those dudes told their friends, and now it's been growing. So I started the Facebook page, Instagram a few months back, started taking pictures, and it's been kind of blowing up from there. Yeah, it's going to get to a point, man, like that, because I mean, everybody who even comes to me for audio, the thing is, I can do it. You know, obviously you see I wired all the stuff up. I can do it, but it's just the thing about it, man, is you don't see there's audio shops, there's paint shops, there's body shops, and a lot of people think, oh, it's a car, so you do everything. Like, nah, man, actually, I don't do air cons because number one, I don't want the cert, I don't want them inspecting me, and most of my cars don't have AC because that's run for turbos. You know what I mean? So you throw them out. So like now that, you know, because I was actually having people hit me up before you said you did it, and I haven't had anybody since. But I mean, definitely anybody that comes in now, if you got card stickers or whatever, just drop them here, and then I'll just shoot them your way, because audio, like I say, is dedicated thing, and then like we all work together as a community and stuff like that. So I think there was a couple of guys that were doing it out of the hobby shop, and like you said, they left. Yeah, and I think, and I met Centers once, I believe. Maybe I sold something to somebody. He was there, and then, you know, we start talking. And he mentioned something about audio and stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, man. So far as the because I'm kind of more interested in, because I just met my last guest. He was we talked about physical fitness. Come to find out, when I checked his Instagram, I noticed he had like Pro Tools. And I'm like, do you do music? He's like, yeah. So it's like everybody who does production, I'm really intrigued. Like, how did you get into it? And so, like, far as the actual, I mean, I know, you know, you did a rock band and everything. So far as any post-production or pre-production stuff, what kind of things are you doing? Any composing and stuff like that? Okay, yeah. So like that's how I got started. Like growing up doing music through school and everything. Had the rock band. Once like we were doing like this is back like before home studios. Like they were just starting and it was still expensive. So it's mostly like rich dudes. So we would save everything from gigs and throw that into the studio. But then like stuff started getting cheaper to do home studios, and then got a hold of our drummer actually loaned me her software, and then from there like started buying my own stuff. And then it got to where we weren't pro level, but we could get it close to studio quality in our apartment. So we were like, all right, we just need to put more time and effort into learning. Like we can get there instead of throwing all of our money at the studio. And, so it started going from there. And then that's been like the last probably 10 years is just doing everything myself, recording, composing, everything. Been doing mastering about the last 4 or 5 years. So
in the band itself, like what's your position?
So in that group, I was doing keyboard and scream vocals.
Okay.
And then a little bit like growing up, like I learned like trumpet and sax and orchestras and jazz band in school. So we would use that for atmospherics. Like I had a full like guitar pedal set up, but vocal pedals, everything hooked up to my mic. So like a lot of times it didn't sound like a trumpet. Like it was more atmospheric background stuff. Or like for the ballady parts, do something real kind of atmospheric, and then like things hit. We were also using a lot of like tribal instruments and stuff, so I played like didgeridoo.
Oh shit!
Fucking
you're all over the place, man.
Oh yeah, dude. The whole band, we all played like a random collection of instruments. Our drummer had like all this crazy like world hand drums and stuff. Our bassist had a guqin, and then it was like the Chinese version of koto. And then we also had a shamisen. My brother picked up dilruba and oud. So they played
crazy
like Middle Eastern
stuff
people
like, don't hear. Yeah,
a lot of the stuff, and too, like you hear the instrument names and a lot of stuff. When they first came, I was like, "What is that?" As soon as you started playing, like you recognize that every movie soundtrack that's in the Middle East has that.
Yeah,
anything from China has the other one. Like, so you start like you hear it, and it's like, oh,
because nobody over here is just these drums. Like standard brass, because most people don't know what a French horn looks like.
Oh, right.
Or like different kind, or this like a lot of
different. Or the reason for it. It's all brass. It sounds the same. It's like not
it's
exactly.
A bit different. Because I played trumpet when I started out. I played I had the cornet by default because the cornet it was city school, so they didn't really have enough instruments to go around. So like all the trumpets, they were gone out. So I had the cornet first.
Right.
And then I moved up the next year to the trumpet, and I kind of excelled at it. Went from second to first seat. Then I played middle school. We did concerts and everything. So like so before I got into actual because by default, I'm from the city, so everybody mostly is hip hop. So that's kind of by default I got into making that kind of music. But actually now, as far as what I listen to, man, like it's like most of my stuff is mostly rock and actually electronica, because I sample, and it's like of course you have a lot of hip hop guys, but as far as like there's even more like like everybody does electronica. Everybody wants to do a rock. More guys want to do a rock band coming up than most guys, I guess, want to be like aspiring artists to be rappers and stuff like that. So there's so much more music out there in that genre and everything. So guys get like kind of weirded out when they ride with me and then they hear like go from this song to this song. So I listen to everything, man. You know what I mean? I don't, except for polka.
Yeah, so, everything except for like new country is and like I fucking hate ska.
Yeah,
which was crazy. Like playing, like we'd be in a goth band. People see the trumpet on stage. You guys a ska band? Like walk away from the stage. I'm not talking to you.
Yeah.
So yeah, like that kind of stuff. But yeah, now back in like the early 2000s, I got real heavy into trance, and so that whole side of electronic stuff is mixed in now. So a lot of it's like rock vocals with a bit of future pop, like V&V Nation style.
I think guys like bands like Linkin Park, man, kind of like they
really opened it up.
They like people like, what am I listening? It's like it's rocking and the dude's rapping. Mike Shinoda, then like it's like what's going on?
Yeah,
man?
like back in the day, the only time you'd hear electronic stuff in rock, it just drove me crazy. You would hear like a band would do an electronic intro to a song, and you'd be like, dude, that sounds cool. Then the guitars come in and there'd be no more synths for the rest of the song. It was like, that doesn't even match the song.
Yeah.
Like, what was that? Like, don't like
tease.
It needs to be part of the song, or like, it's just like they just jigsawed some stuff together. And like, what? Like,
Yeah, speaking of that, sound like you have like any of you guys' like final products or anything?
Yeah, I've got music put out a couple of EPs in the last couple of years, a few singles, a lot of remixes.
Yeah, if you got as far as that stuff, man, if you got, because I'll get that from you too. If you got because we talking about it, guys probably want to hear. If you have like SoundCloud or whatever, just give me that stuff and then I'll put it there.
Actually, everything is at Wickline Music.
Okay,
like on everywhere.
All right.
So yeah, all one word.
And if you could, man, it's one because I normally end the podcast. I'll put like my music or
right.
So just give me a track, man.
Okay, yeah, definitely.
I'll toss it up there and everything. So. Okay. I'm pretty sure you got it all electronic, so you just toss something after we get done.
Yeah, I got everything.
Because the audio for this actually be up like today, and then
I can do it as soon as I get home.
Cool. Yeah, man. But that's like I was expecting to talk to you more about the audio install and thing. We still don't talk about that, but like definitely, man, like music production because it's I think for it could be it could be so many guys out there producing music, but it's still more consumers than there is producers. And I would say like that word loosely because when guys ask me, I'm not a producer because I don't produce anybody's career. And a lot of people, when it comes to this type of music, more like, so mine is more like chill, hip hop, Nujabes style. I'm pretty sure you heard of Nujabes. So it's an MPC style, it's more sampling. And everybody's like, I'm a producer. Like, nah, I'm what's called a beat maker. I just make beats. Like I'm a track maker. I don't produce. I make tracks and they go to a guy want to rap on it or a guy want to use it for a video. I don't really do anything for artists because I tried it and you'll give a guy 30 tracks and like you hear one in like 3 years. So I don't do that anymore. That
kind of stuff is frustrating. Because it's like you still put time and work into it,
and then you want to hear it. Or they do record on it and it's like, dude, what the
or they just it's trash and
it's garbage,
like, man. You ruined my own stuff for me. That I was getting into because I was trying to like as like my music was getting better, I was like, all right, I want to try and start doing like some remixes and stuff.
Right.
So I got into like some of these remix websites, and they'd have these contests where you get all the stems and everything. They had some good stuff on there. Yeah. So I was like, all right, sweet. So I go in and like I put in like a ton of work producing up these tracks and stuff, and like a lot of times what wins is like the radio friend, like the standard,
right?
Like, but a lot of it is like it doesn't sound like anything special.
They pull it
like,
over whatever. A little bit more too.
Yeah, which is whatever. I wasn't expecting to win necessarily, but I still want to put my stuff out. And then I get through and like they're like, oh, you can't release any of this. I'm like, what? And they're like, yeah, that's if we choose you, you can release it. Otherwise, like, and I'm like, dude, I just put like every spare moment I have for the last couple of months into these tracks, and I'm like, it's just not worth it. So I got out of that. And now I'm remixing stuff by like contacting artists directly, getting stems from them. So yeah, I'm actually working on right now. I just did a collab with a group out of Colorado. It's kind of goth synth rock band. So they're putting together an album. So I co-wrote and did a song with them. Did vocals with that. I got another side project. It's me and another solo artist. He's a rapper, electronic dude from the UK. And we kind of made a group together. We were working on an album, and then a local buddy he knows put out this electronic track. It's really sick. So he wants us to do a remix of it for his single release. So definitely, working on that right now.
Once you get that, man, just definitely link it up. I'll share it, man.
Yeah, definitely.
The thing about it, man, is like it's I'm more into it's not like a disdain or a not angry at people who are in the main industry, but it's like they have publicists, they have you look on YouTube, they got 4 million views in the video first day it dropped, so they don't have an issue. Like I'm not trying to push those guys; they have enough. So like them, besides again my own stuff and guys like within my circle to help push their stuff up. So I'm more interested. It's something about listening to music that from people that I know. Because it's like, I got a few DJ buddies here, man. Even though, like, at first I kind of DJing, I'm like, dude, you guys, DJs get famous off of replaying somebody else's stuff. But then it's actually like, it's actually not easy to be a good DJ.
No.
It's it's a skill.
Like, there's a lot of DJs, but there's very few that are, like, good at what they do.
And it's like, I thought, like, I just mix. Because my uncle was a DJ, so I kind of got, because I watched him. I mean, he went on the radio. He did spots and everything. So I watched him 3 hours before he went on the radio to do a spot practice for 3 hours, unplugged. Back in the day, crates.
Oh yeah,
crate everything up. Crates. Big milk, the big milk crates that were like this big. Crate everything up and help him put it in the car. Load all the stuff up. And like he was always bitching about his needles breaking and stuff like that. I didn't understand. And then he would go do his radio thing, and that was only like 5 minutes. So he practiced 3 hours just for 5 minutes. And like the new guys, man, you just kind of like you open a Apple and you
Dude.
Yeah, I mean, nothing against it, but
when I got we're coming over from Florida, dude. There'd be so many like the DJs in the group, dude. Like the level, and I'm like, who hired this guy? Like, why would you? Like, you didn't like see what he was about, dude. Literally, we're in this wing place sometime. They'd have DJs there on the weekends, like late night.
Yeah,
we have a brother in there drinking, and we're like, this really sucks. And like, it's like this guy's transitions are awful. Like, he's just crossfading.
Yeah.
And so we went around and we took a look back where he's at. He's got an Xbox hooked up, and he's running Spotify off his Xbox and just putting songs in from Spotify with the crossfade set at like, 5 seconds or something. And I was like, wait, for real?
No headphones?
No headphones. Most of the time he was like, he had loaded up a playlist. Most of the time he spent most of the time just playing games on his phone and checking Facebook. And then somebody come request a song. Oh yeah, he'd reach over with his controller, his Xbox controller, add it to the play next, and like I was like, and that dude, like, you get paid for this?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, man, it's crazy, man.
So
it's
stuff like that all
it's
the
cool
time.
to see that because at first, like when something like that brand new comes out, because I even asked my uncle, because he was vinyl, and then like we kind of let him talk, and then he finally got on Facebook. Then one of his first posts is, I know when Numeric first came out with that first when that first, I guess, the CD or disc jockey or whatever.
Right.
And this is when it was still a disc. It was just a disc instead, so you just have two notebooks instead of crates.
CD, right.
So he came out with that, and I was like, man, this is it. Like, he was like cutting and everything, and he was like, yeah, man, this is dope and everything. And then that went away. It just went straight from like the mixers, so to speak, with the USB. So you still have like the scratch function and all that stuff. So I guess still have the feel. And it's like he's totally converted, man. So it's like, and he's an old school like right vinyl guy back when they had the 45s. So it's I've seen a lot of the older DJs shun it, and then now they're like, dude, I can put all my music on a USB drive and plug it in, and then my sets are. I got like church or clean playlist for the E Club parties.
Right.
And then you got like I guess they got the PG-13 version for the E Club, but so it's like, it's kind of cool, man, to see how things going. Then like you said, man, even this stuff right here, man, which is just a temporary away from home one, because with my home one is more stuff. That 10, 12 years ago, that was a lot of cash. And I mean, actually, that's older. I don't know if you. Are you familiar with NPCs?
I recognize the Akai there. I might have that same. No, I got one of the simpler versions of the one on the left. Yeah. The one I have is just a controller, but yeah. That's what I mean. Pretty much, I bought that from the actual DJ Wiz, the keyboard, because I got the Casio down. I mean, not Casio, but the Korg downstairs. But it's actually got sounds in it, but it's old school, it's heavy, and I was just using that for just a controller. Yeah. So all my beats are made in the MPC, and I do after post production in the FL Studio. But yeah, man, the 2000 XL is used pretty much. That's Kanye Money's machine. He used the same machine. Right.
And I got that used. I mean, I paid $400 for it when that first came out. It was like $2,500. And then the sampler down there is just a rack mount version of a 3000 XL. I got that for like $200, and when it first came out, it was like 28 or whatever. So it's like crazy, man. The amount of the way technology has brought everything is a good thing and a bad thing. Because it's a good thing because it's allowing guys like you say yourself that was into it for a while, and now you got the equipment. Then it's like now there's so many. It's just flooded, man. Like everybody, the SoundCloud is like, dude, like, come on, man. Like it's. They just be posting, man. They be posting. Yeah. I'm like, dude, it's grainy. It's
a lot of just cookie cutter stuff, man. Like, I was like, it doesn't sound any different. Like,
it doesn't, man.
And like,
I mean, it's bad enough when the industry guys are cookie cutter, but then you're cookie cutting.
Yeah, it just makes it that much more, and it's just like, man, yeah. And it really like it not to take away from it, but it doesn't take that much effort to make your stuff sound different. Yeah. Like, it's just put some time into it.
Well, just the biggest thing I think is just being a lot of guys now, man. It's just because you're 35 and 36. A lot of guys. I mean, we've been around the early 90s, because I didn't get core into music until around about 94, 93. Like when I actually knew what I was hearing. Before then, it was just all noise.
Right.
And then I mean, in that era, that time frame of early 90s to like 98, man, so much good music came out in that time. And then honestly, I used to download a lot of music, and it's been so bad, man. Where I haven't downloaded music illegally since like 2005. Like I don't need. I mean, now I don't do it because now I produce and I've had stuff stolen, and I know how it feels. So I don't do it for that reason. But it's like nothing out there, nothing that's coming out is making me like, oh, I gotta download this. Like it's just not. It's just time. It's not timeless music anymore.
Right.
And I mean, those few artists that do make timeless music, they're buried under all this stuff that's just faddish music, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just, I'm pretty sure, you know, the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy, man. So as far as the music, are you guys, I mean, you're still doing it, obviously. Is it just like more of like a hobby thing, or are you looking to?
No, this is like, I really like, I would say like I'm musician first.
Right.
And like everything else is after.
Second,
yeah, like I want to get back to doing live shows again. Right now, it's just all solo stuff, releasing online and everything. But yeah, I miss playing shows, dude. We used to travel, and like we were doing 3 or 4 shows every week.
How many shows did you say you've done like total? Like, yeah, I hate that look, man.
Dude,
it's like
probably a couple hundred at least.
Shit,
couple
man.
hundred at least. Yeah,
I've only done 2.
Okay.
Yeah. So
we played like it. It's, let's put it this way, like if I go to a concert, and like I'm self-conscious in the crowd, I'm uncomfortable. Like I don't know, I just like I feel weird. Like what am I supposed to do? What am I? You know, am I like I don't know. I just feel awkward. Yeah. Like on stage, I'm at home.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get nervous. Like it's just. Yeah, don't ask me to talk on stage. That's awful. But like doing music or singing or anything else, that's home.
So you did. I mean, as far as the crowd, because I remember, like I said, I got asked. I did actually NPC, and it was pretty much playing. Because the way I play mine, I don't just press the buttons. I actually play live, and that's coming from the trumpet. Like I was saying before, playing the trumpet, I knew how to actually read music and count and everything before, and that helps like a lot of people before they get into like that stuff. Yeah, because you actually know composure. You know, like where stuff goes, and that's when I go in. When I sample, you can hear that in my music because I sample a lot of orchestra-based stuff. So I actually can take a set of violins, like dissect it, and then put it together how I want. You're arranging. So outside in, people are like, oh, you just pressing buttons or whatever. But like, it's like, again, I mean, I'm not a real big Kanye fan. A lot of people like don't like him because it's what he does. But if you to do what he does to put stuff together, man, it's a skill set that's seen like, you know, it doesn't seem important.
Yeah, there really is something to like sampling, and like I'm like honestly kind of new to sampling. I've done a little bit of it in my music. I tend to work more on the synthesizer side, sound design, and like creating the patches and stuff with the synthesizers. That's
so pretty much the stuff you make is the stuff of a sample, because I can do it, you can do it, but it's like sampling is just like taking. It's like, because sampling, the reason why it came punk is like guys didn't have instruments. So like you would take that jazz sound, you would get the trumpets from there, you would get the snares from there, you know how it works and stuff like that. So it's like I can make that, but it's like to make and to give credit too, because every sample I have, I save the artist. So in the event that somebody got my track and then went like big, I could tell them I got it from this track, this verse, this minute and everything. That way, because lawyers,
it's got to go back. They'll find you.
Yeah. So like it's I definitely give credit to guys like that, and make sure all that stuff. But like, so far as like, so if you're like, say you're just getting into it, like what do you kind of use it for?
A lot of times I'll use it for like interludes and like in between songs, like maybe like after a chorus I'll run like a kind of a beat loop going before the next verse actually comes in, and usually it'll be a lot of times though it's sampled off of the track itself. So it'd be like a piece from another part of the song. And it's not like I said, I'm still like new to doing sampling. So a lot of stuff, it's not intentional. Like I'll be working on a section here, doing some editing. So I've got a loop that's set up at a weird location. And then I'm like, oh, that kind of sounds cool. So I'll slice that bit out, add it somewhere else.
Man, I just want to hear your music now, man. So when we get the links and stuff, after that, we'll drop them. And then I'll because I do a lot of trips to like Tokyo and stuff, man. And again, my thing is just my guys, man. I got a lot of guys that make music, and when I'm on the road, is either actually I don't listen to too much of my stuff anymore because I don't want to like really just want to new stuff. You want to think about new stuff, so I actually go back and listen to some of my stuff. Like, man, I actually made that, and it's like 5 years ago. And you could tell where your mind was during that time frame.
Yeah, definitely like. like my sound, like you can tell it's kind of like it all still like you can kind of tell it's the same artist, but it definitely has morphed and changed. And like you can tell like in a different place, like emotionally, mentally.
Obviously, like talking about you were in there for like the I guess divorce or whatever. Yeah. So it's like if you're making anything during that time, it's
those are really dark stuff.
Yeah.
In that time.
Yeah, man. That's actually for me because I really like electronica, man. Like it's like you listen to electronica and trance. It's like, dude, when you hear really good stuff, man, Paul Oakenfold, all those guys, and it's like, dude, what are they thinking about during that time?
Yeah,
like, it's like everything builds, and it's not like it just starts and then like it's over. It's like it takes 5 to get to like the you know what I mean?
Dude. Like early 2000s, mid 2000s, I was listening to a lot of like Paul Van Dyke, Paul Oakenfold, BT, ATV. Like those guys were like their songs, like their composure and like song development was so good. Yeah. And a lot of people like because it was repetition, like that was the way trance was. Yeah. But it was like if you really listen to it, like there was a lot there that was happening that. Like maybe if you were just kind of like if you heard it, you're like, whatever. Yeah. Like if you really listen to it, like, and that's what I listen to, like on the way home from work, like just space out, kind of relax, and just focus and just pick songs apart as I was listening to them. Like, and it's like as you go over, like maybe I'd listen to a song I hadn't heard in a year or so, and I'd pop it back in and be like, whoa, I never noticed that, but like new layers that I hadn't seen. Some of those guys, dude, like they're legitimately amazing. At what
I tried, man. I tried to when I first got into it because. When I first got it was called Fruity Loops back in the day.
Right.
And it Fruity Loops was actually more for electronica, not for hip, because the stock sound sucked. And I didn't get into sampling actually until about 8 years after I started, because tried for 3 years, and then I kind of like, man, I'm not good at this. And then I just left it, and then I came back. So I picked it up maybe 2 or 3 times, and then I met a guy, and he's like, hey man, you ever try sampling? And then the first time I did it, man, it was like everybody's like, man, that sounds good, and dudes asking me to do stuff, and then like, dude, because if you pick the right sample, the levels are already there, the sound's already there, you're just rearranging it,
right,
and adding snares, and then like then you get better, like taking like I once sampled the same songs from 4 different sources, so throughout the track it actually changed. Like you could use, it was a live version, studio version, a live version. There was like some other versions, and I took all of that and like meshed it, man. And then like I started it out with the live version and went into the studio version, and it's like the stuff like that, man. Once you get it, then you can kind of rearrange it. And
it like I could have easily ended up going like the way I ended up in synths and not samplers, like was purely circumstances, because like I wanted to get like some of the back like 02, 03, Korg had some new samplers out that at the time looked like super cool. I was like, dude, I want this so bad. I was like high school student. I was broke. My family didn't really have money.
The lights and the knobs and
they like later they became known as like terrible machines. They at the time, but that would have gotten me started. I would have gone that way, but I didn't have access to them. But the other members in our rock band had keyboards. Like our lead singer had a Korg Triton. So like I was always bugging her like, hey, do you mind if I take that to my house this weekend and I'll get it back to you?
What model Triton was
Korg? It was the XL, I think.
Yeah,
because
the big one. Tritons are they're.
Yeah, at the time it was the top of the line, like super expensive. So I would take that home like anytime. If she didn't need it, I was like, yeah, I'll get it back to you next practice. Yeah. And so I was using that all the time, and then later on down the road, finally ended up getting me and my brother. We had started another band that was then the gothic rock band, and we had been doing stuff like synthesizer stuff, like we've been experimenting with mixing synths and rock and hard rock and stuff. And so what we were doing was we were building the tracks in our computer, and then like we would use basically a backing track and then play along with it, but it was so limiting and like it was difficult. So we saved up some money. Like my dad ended up helping us out, and we picked up a Roland Phantom FX8, which at the time was like the latest thing. A lot of the pros were using that, and so that like from there, like that's where I was using that, and the software we had was mostly synthesizer based, very little sampling in it. Even the samples they used were like one-shot samples, so you were still basically playing like you would a synthesizer. So like that's kind of how I ended up going that way. But sampling always, like, it was still in the back of my head, like, but I like some of this stuff.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
So then later years I got like some decent like the software I got has been upgraded. Like the updates they've had have added a bunch of stuff. I've actually gotten some sampling stuff. So I've been like trying to get into it like little by little. But
yeah, man. So what like far as like what do you have at home? Anything?
So I built a production PC. Again, like, it came down to money at the time. Like to get like I wanted a Mac, but the Mac I needed was going to cost me like $4,000.
Yeah.
So I built one for like less than half. It's Windows, but same specs as the other. So I've got that small recording setup. You know, got one extra room in the house, blankets all over the walls and stuff. You know.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, so that's basically what I'm doing. My software, I'm using Reason.
Okay.
So I've been using Reason since version 1, like back in '99. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So
it works out, man. As far as that, and then like I say, I mean, shit, you talking about the padding for this? I was gonna go on Yahoo Auctions and buy like the little squares and everything.
Right.
I actually got this. This is from Home Ec, man.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah,
it works like
it's the same. It's the same like
basically the
same
same
stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And actually, I mean, this room before I did that, man, it was it was echoey, man.
Yeah. Well, I noticed like even just coming in the door, like the sound changed.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Another thing too
nice.
is it gets and I still actually got to buy some more to just to finish that off. But it actually one thing it does too is it's warm as hell in here. Like even in the winter. Like I guess it keeps the
yeah, it's a little extra insulation.
Yeah. So I mean, it'd be nice when it actually gets because that's what I was worried about for guests in the like dead of winter because I don't want to have a heater running because the heater gets into the all that stuff. Even that, but actually it doesn't. When we're talking, it doesn't. You can't hear it. So actually, with the as long as I keep that door shut, it'll greenhouse effect in here and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not too bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's kind of again, man. I didn't. That's why I kind of like I don't want to like plan anything because it's like every plan I'll start thinking about it.
Right.
But it's like man, that's pretty. It's pretty cool to see you into that, man. So other than outside of music, man, I mean, obviously you're like some cars and stuff. Or
yeah, car audio and also like custom interior stuff.
Yeah.
Like I did. We got Green Ridge's Sylvia, which he ended up deciding he wanted to go all black, which like it hurt. But I did like the blue.
The S15.
Nah, Green Ridge's S13.
Oh, Green Ridge had the he's already gone, right?
He's gone, yeah.
Yeah, he had this. Yeah, I remember his.
But the door panels, like I did he wanted blue fabric on the door panels and the thing. I did it and like it looked dope, but then he was like, I want to go black. Yeah. And so like, it hurt. But I got pictures. So, doing stuff like that. Recently I did like custom lens for my air conditioning controls.
Seen that. Yeah.
Because the color it comes with is
well, I like the pink. So. I like the pink, the LEDs on for the I guess your
it's like kind of like pink purple. So daylight it looks purple, but then like at night when they're bright, it's all like pink. Underneath the dash and everything. But yeah, a lot of interior work, fabric wrapping, swapping stuff. Like my car, I think the only thing left in the car that is from the car is the seat belts and the dash. That's it. Like, and the carpet. Like, so everything else has been,
changing around, man. So far as I mean, I know you're doing the, that's why I asked, man, because a lot of times, like, even with me, man, when I was doing military and the contracting, it's like everybody does, like, I mean, they do what you got to do to make cash and whatever.
Right.
But generally, everybody always has that. I mean, it's a rare case where you had that guy that's just like his job is his hobby, and those people are generally not fun people, man, because they're just like. They're like company people, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So I was like, you're lame. And you go snowboard and they talking about office. I'm like, dude, we're in Hakota. And you talking about office stuff, dude. Like leave that there. Like we got to deal with it anyway. But it's like for me, man, I was making more money doing side stuff. Like actually when I was in the military. So I was like, man, that's why I got out. I didn't get out because it was bad or whatever. And I was ranking up pretty fast. But it's just, I was putting all this time into like racing and doing stuff. And I'm like, dude, I'm here. So I should stay here. And it sucked the first like 2 years badly. And then I did contract in the AMC. Then I got picked over at F-16s and just kind of kept going up. And then I just I had $5,000, man. All this you see around, man, it started from five grand. I mean, I'm still in the red zone, but it's the reason I asked that, man, because it's like generally most people are going to want to go towards like what they do for Patrick. So do you have any aspirations to open up like a full up shop, or?
I would love to, honestly. My day job's all right. I like it, but it's
what
not
do you
like
do? Like, what
teach
do you
English.
teach? Okay, that's right.
I like it. I like my students and stuff like that in school, but it's not like
Right.
And I like working with my hands.
On base or off base?
Off base, yeah. I like working with my hands. I like creating stuff.
Right.
So like audio and interiors and stuff like that. Like I'm making things that sound better, look better and stuff. And like I really enjoy that. Where teaching like it's fun and it like that and everything, but like I'm sitting at a table all day, it's fine, but I mean it's like even doing warehouse work was more like at least I was doing stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I would love to get into that.
Yeah. So are you like, is yours like kind of like a JET program or
No, it's a chain. Yeah.
Okay.
A chain of schools around. So.
And are you a fixed instructor, or you move around as
no, generally one place. We do move around, like covering, like dudes in Moreo who go on vacation, so we'll go down and cover Hirosaki or something. But yeah, generally I have a home school.
Okay.
That I'm at pretty much all the time. But yeah, I've been there for like 4 years. Like I said, it's good. Benefits and everything.
That's what you did. That's how you got back to Japan, by doing that, or
no? I was working on base through a staffing agency, but the pay was like super low.
By the one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this pays the bills. But schedule's kind of rough. Evenings and weekends, so like I barely see the family.
It's a Japanese company, right?
Japanese company. A
lot of guys don't realize, man, when they a lot of I'm pretty sure you got buddies who are like, oh man, obviously not everybody, those who want to come to Japan, it seems like they like, oh man, you're lucky and this, that, and they don't I hate that word lucky, man, because they really don't know.
Like in theory, yes, but it's not like I came to Japan and just get to live just Japan land all the time. Like I'm still like daily, like I'm still working the same as I would be in the States.
Yeah.
Like I'm not experiencing Japan.
Did you work?
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like even like my job, like I'm teaching English. I'm not allowed to even speak Japanese at work. So yeah, it's like
really
little. Yeah.
And how's your Japanese, by the way?
Not great.
So that's crazy. So they don't want, they like speak English only.
It's like supposed to be like little mini America land or whatever. So which is fine. Like the way it works out, but my Japanese probably should be a lot better. I mean, I can order like food and drinks, alcohol.
I've been here 11 years.
The important points. I can get by.
No, trust me, man, because I still have to default to my wife sometimes. I've been here 11 years. It's like, if you ask me, I don't know, but it's like situation. If some situations I'll know it, and in other situations like I'll just go on the side and Nihongo.
Yeah, certain things I can do. Certain things I'm like. Maybe. So I get by. Like I can survive on my own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Same
like
thing,
you throw me out there, I'll be fine. I'm not gonna die or anything. But it's like conversational is difficult. So you speak a lot of mixed Japanese English.
Yeah, they do.
Hand motions.
One thing I hate right now, not hate, but it's like phone they pull up because they got the app now that you speak into it and everything. And that actually is pretty. They're pretty like, far as you speak into it, actually. They do pretty good, but then it's like you still like
the translation's still like
the
translation isn't any better than it was before.
It's weird. The Japanese to when the Japanese do it in their phone, the English actually comes out every time somebody's done it. English comes out good, but when you speak English, because they put the verb, subject, and everything is like different place. So you'll say shit, and they be like, that's all backwards or upside downwards and things like that. So that's what I run into. I know the words, and then I'll just say it. I say the words as if I'm speaking English.
Okay.
And it's like, I guess, would you put the subject at the?
I think
end? They do this different.
They do verb as last. The subject is supposed to be first, but it's usually omitted. Like they just don't say it.
Right.
So and then they got all the information. Random order in the middle.
Yeah. It's just, I don't know, man.
Well, I think the problem too is like a lot of the translation software originated in English-speaking countries. So they can catch the meaning from the Japanese and they'll put it in the correct English. But then like when they're doing it into Japanese, it's not necessarily. It's kind of like it's like a person like I can understand more Japanese than I can speak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think it's the same thing. It can catch the meaning from what it's hearing, but Yeah.
It's weird because the last episode I finally got a few Japanese guys. I looked at the analytics. So I guess I haven't really looked, but I guess there's no podcast in Japan. So guys are they're like, hey man, translate. I'm like, dude, that last one was 4 hours, and we use a lot of, not a lot of slang, but even though terminology is like some words don't exist. So there's like they want to. I'm like, that's a lot of it's crazy, man.
Yeah, it doesn't work. Some of it doesn't translate, and then like sentence patterns are like completely different. Like that's something I've noticed too. Is like I'll like talking to like I got a few like some of the younger students like high school, college. They want to learn like cool English. And so, they'll be like, oh, I heard this in a movie. What does it mean? And I'm like, well, like, technically it means this, but I mean, we don't use it for that. It's actually, and like there's a second meaning to it. And his intonation here actually means something completely different.
That's the biggest thing.
It's all situational. And
it's like, that's the biggest thing I think with all languages, man. Like the guys who master it, like, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy how people's minds work because it's people out there who speak 6 languages, but they couldn't build an engine. And then they couldn't, when you do music, audio, and everything is, it's weird how, and that's why I'm like, because I ran into some jet guys and they've been kind of snooty dudes because they'll be here, and they would kind of like make fun of you, like, hey, you've been here this long, you don't speak, whatever. I'm like, all right, actually, I don't speak Japanese, but I run a company in Japan. Like, you speak Japanese fully and you're not doing that. So then I said that to one guy before, and he kind of like got pissy with me. I'm like, dude, it's just your mind. Your mind is different than mine. Like, I mean, I'm not good at math.
And it depends too. Like, what are you around? Like, a lot of those guys, they're around Japanese people all the time, and a lot of what they're speaking is Japanese. But like we got like my wife speaks good English. We pretty much speak English at home. I'm around like at work. I'm not allowed to speak Japanese. All the Japanese coworkers also speak English.
So you're like
like most of my customers off base and stuff are all Americans. Like, you know what I mean? So like,
so we're not basically what you're saying is we're not like. Again, my wife she's learning more English, so she don't really want to speak Japanese. And then like we're kind of not like stripped and dropped in the middle of like Fuji Forest with all, you know what I mean? Like people like that are forced. You see movies where guys get dropped off and like a year later they're speaking in native language. And like
that's where like I do have buddies that like have learned a lot faster, but they also ended up like kind of asking about their life situation. Like, well, they started dating a Japanese girl who barely spoke English, so they were learning more. Ended up that, being around their friends and family and stuff. And then like their job, actually, they had a lot more Japanese coworkers. Like when I used to work in the kitchen at the CDC on base and like had mostly Japanese, like my Japanese, that was where it improved the most, was being around those guys. Cause like one guy spoke decent English, one guy spoke a little bit English, one guy spoke almost no English. And so like just being around them. And like they were into cars, so like the one dude, especially the one guy, like he's got a shop in Tawada now.
Okay.
And like he would always bring in car magazines, so we'd be like about stuff, and it was always man. Which he apparently knows of you.
What's his name?
Izumi.
Manabu. What kind of car does he have?
He had a my brain's blanking out. A Mark II. He had a gold Mark II on base about 10 years ago.
Some of the one, did he worked over at the near the city? Which is it, near the police station?
No. He worked. He worked at the club at first. Then he was working at the CDC Yoiko next to public affairs and like the AFN.
I think I've seen it.
He had a lowered Mark II that was like really nice. Yeah. And he's got.
It sounds familiar, man.
Yeah.
But if I've seen his face or if he still has that car, I've seen the car. Probably definitely know him and everything, man. But it's just it's one of the reasons I'm learning more now is because I got 3 kids. They're all half breeds, so like the 3-year-old's already speaking like speaking. I'm like, okarinai, like, so like then he's speaking, he looks at me like, what do you mean you don't know? So before it's crazy, man. Like we actually changed daycares because we had some issues with the last daycare. One of the chicks couldn't keep her hands to herself, and so we pulled them out of there, put them in a new daycare, and it's like all more kids, more expensive, but the within like, because he was already 3, but he was like they wasn't potty training him. Because that's part of what we're supposed to do. So we, like, I guess, it's like a balance of what we're supposed to do and what they're supposed to do. So
Right.
he was kind of behind. He wasn't speaking as much Japanese. And now, man, he's speaking full sentences, and he's 3. So now it's like I'm learning more because of him. So I'm pretty
That's
much
cool.
going to learn Japanese because I need to know how to talk to them. And I guess they say around 5 they start they'll be able to handle dual. Because my wife's telling me just to keep speaking English, and I'm like, dude, like, I definitely understand that, but then, like, now he's like, whatever, and he starts speaking more Japanese. And I know what he's trying to say, so I'm learning like little small words now. He's like, what is he saying? And she'll tell me then. So it's kind of crazy how that works, man. Because most of my guys who have half-breed kids, like, they all speak good at, like, really conversational level Japanese because their kid is like speaking so much Japanese, and they're at work and they come home like, what are you saying? I don't know.
Yeah, my wife had a couple kids from her first marriage, so like, she wanted them to learn English and stuff. So we tried, but yes, in the house we speak like a mix of English and Japanese. That like kind of its own thing. I've learned, teenager attitude in Japanese pretty well. I hear that.
So they're older.
Yeah, they're older. Daughters actually finished high school. Son's second year in high school. Yeah, so finally they're getting through past the attitude part. So it's getting easier. But,
so I'm pretty sure it's the same thing. Like, in the States, some other guy comes along and is like, that's not dad or whatever.
Yeah, well, they were pretty cool. Like they were pretty cool with me and stuff, and it was more like, because when they were like 9-10 years old, in that range, and they liked me and stuff, so that was fine. But it was just like the classic, like, you know what I mean, like, like, I was kind of an asshole when I was a teenager, so it's kind of the same thing.
You knew
don't want to deal with mom and dad, don't want to be told what to do.
Rebellious stages.
So it's just like, just that kind of stuff. So nothing out of the ordinary, but.
So what's the plan, man? Are you, like, far as like Masai, are you good in Masai, or you gonna think of moving somewhere else? Or?
I have no idea, man. Nothing planned. I mean, I'd love eventually to go down south somewhere.
Have you been? That's what I'm saying. What's other than, I know you were actually active duty or military?
I would,
affiliated. All that stuff. So
like
anyway, like, far as the that's some real actions. Like, where besides Massawa, did you go into any other places, or?
I've only lived in Massawa. I've like traveled around a little bit, but like and even in Japan, I haven't been south of like Kanagawa.
Okay.
So, but I've been like all over Tohoku, just traveling around and stuff. But like, I like it up here. It's just like, I don't know how much more snow I can take.
Yeah, dude,
it's killing me.
Yeah, the reason I stay here, man, is because it's pretty much like I'm kind of like, I'm not making a monopoly, and it's not possible. But as far as what I do, if I open up I'm confident in my skills, stuff I do with output, stuff like that for customers. But if I took this show on the road and say, like, went to like the heart of Tokyo, wouldn't do that no more because it's like no space there. And the space, a shop this size, I would pay almost $3,000 a month in rent. Just rent alone.
Oh, no doubt.
So in my last shop I was paying, I don't know if you came here before, it was $1,200 a month. And I paid about, roughly $800 a month here, just a base, but for tax. So I'm saving money just by moving here. But like down there, man, it's just like, everything is, you seem like you would be more of a convenience, but actually it's not. It's like, I talked to like guys there. They said, number one, against space, and I thought Tokyo had more stuff on the shelf. You still got to order everything. Yeah.
Well, you also like, you'd be like here you're somewhat well known, I think. At least like you have a reputation and stuff. Down in Tokyo, like.
Well, actually, I'm more known down there.
Really?
Believe it or not.
Okay.
Yeah, the base, because I traveled for drifting. Okay. So before I opened the shop, I was already out doing stuff there. So when I get more support actually from outside of Massawa. Man.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I did not know that. Okay.
That's weird, man. The guys, because I knew you was going to say. Yeah. But yeah, the guys, I get more support, man. Like if I just, let's say this, if I put all my marbles in the base, my business was shut down in 7 months, and now I'm going on 4 years. And it's not nothing against the people there. The guys who support me, they do, but a lot of times, man, like I don't know what it is. I guess they deal with Japanese so much that when they deal with Americans, they want to like kick it like you're in West Virginia, and it's like it's not that way.
Yeah, like
and it's like I got I got all this business stuff I got to follow. Now I'm a legit business. So I got taxes, all this stuff I got, and the little changes that's happened that I, for example, when a guy order parts, you got to come here and pay in yen, because I had a guy today, you want to do PayPal. I'm like, dude, now you got to send me the PayPal. I got to go take the money out of the bank, transfer it, then put that's not it's not how it works.
Yeah.
So then people get mad and stuff like that. So it's I get a good amount of support from guys on base, but the bulk of my money comes from actually deals outside.
Okay.
Masawa,
Interesting.
man.
Did not know that.
Yeah,
that's cool, man. Cool.
Yeah, it's. I mean, like I said, you came here and you bought stuff and it's guys that I've known for a long time that haven't been there once, and it's like people see you going up, and they just they feel like you're over top. I'm like, dude, like I did the same stuff, man. I'm doing the same stuff, but it's like I just don't I don't say cater to people, man, because this business is doing stuff for people. But it's a difference when you're just a solo guy, man. When you're not a full company of staff. I'm doing all this stuff, man. So I don't. When guys come here and they want to chat for like 10 minutes, I'm like, dude, I gotta work on this car.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's not like if you got staff, you can.
So some of the guys they get that bad. They like, oh well, he. I'm like, no, I'm actually being like, I take your shit, take the stuff down, I'll get back to you. Email is best, and then like some people see it as like me trying to be a jerk. I'm like, nah, dude, because reverse the roles. If that was your car on a lift and you want your shit back like Friday, like I promised, and somebody else comes in and I just take 2 hours just like talking about games and shit to them and everything. Like that's why, like I said, 1600 for today, because like 1600 is when I'm done with customer stuff and everything. So that's my own time, but they're not getting charged for that. But yeah, man, it's kind of weird, man. The support is weird. I used to get like a little bit like angry about it. Like I'm an American guy, prior military, honorable discharge, all this other shit, and like the guy is just kind of like, whatever, I'm gonna go here and do this, and then come back to me and talk about how much money he spent somewhere else. I'm like, okay,
yeah,
cool. So go back to him. Like then they'll come here for like a fucking oil change. I'm like, I don't do oil change. Go to Yellow Hat. Yeah, and then it's pretty much so. Pretty much it kind of goes like that. And and again, I'm a consumer. I'm still a consumer. So I got places I want to go and things like that. But it's a little bit different as far as the reason why I stay here again, because even if it's better to be here because I'm not paying the tax down there. And seriously, like I can be talking to you now and I'll be in Tokyo in the next 7 hours. You know what I mean? I've done it before. So, it is what it is, man. So what I'm saying is pretty much down there, man. It's not, I've been down there a lot, done a lot of business down there. It's not what it's all cracked up to be down there. And a lot of guys down there, they complain about stuff. So I'm like, it's like, oh man, it takes this long to go here and they got to wait for this. I'm like, well, actually, damn, I thought it was better down there when actually it's not, man. So interesting. Yeah, it is weird, man. But yeah, man, as far as the your wife, she's from Masawa?
Yeah, she's grew up here. Yeah. So
how old is she? About if you
I'm not trying to get in trouble.
You said what? Yeah, she's probably gonna watch this.
Handprint.
Yeah, my wife's the same. We're both 36. So actually, she's from Amori. So she talks every day about how much she hates Masawa. So she came here. She was a club girl, Okay. So unfortunately, she's done with that and everything. I wasn't a club guy, so I didn't meet her in the clubs. I met her like just randomly next door neighbor. She had an Evo, the red Evo. Okay. And I was like, she's already in the car, so I got to try to convert her. Yeah. But yeah, man. Yeah. So, but as far as the and do you have like any kids of your own, or? I
got one kid with my ex in the States. Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's always. It's always like rough and stuff like that, man. Yeah. As far as the kind of tying things into, because the music is what I really want to push with you. As far as your music for I guess the production music and everything you want to get into. Do you have any do you do any touring or anything like that?
No, like right now I have zero shows. To be able to perform, like, because I'm not trying to do just sing with a karaoke track. You know what I mean? So like what I really need is like to be able to perform live. I need like a backing track is fine for like certain things, but like I'd really need like a guitarist, a drummer, And then instead of just playing stuff, it's essentially like a DJ to spin the backtracks would be ideal.
So have you linked up with any? Because I mean, Japanese are pretty big into like different rock. Have you done any Japanese groups?
Like not around here.
Yeah.
Like I've done some work.
Are there groups around here for them?
Not that.
Not really.
Well, that's the other deal. It's like nothing my style.
Yeah.
Like everything around here is like all club hip hop and rap and stuff. Yeah. Or it's the other way, like it's like soft jazz or classic rock or something, which is fine, but like that's not what I'm doing.
So
so
you
like
need to be on Tokyo, man.
Yeah, like and I've dealt with like there's a band in Tokyo that I've done a little bit of work with them. They had advertised on Craigslist. I was on Craigslist looking for people.
Craigslist Japan?
Yeah.
They have a Craigslist here?
Yeah, they do. It's for Tokyo, but so like everybody in the country uses it.
Okay.
But that's the only like region that they have listed.
I need to get that.
So this band posted they're looking for an English speaking lead singer. And I listened to their music and like my favorite band of all time is In Flames.
Okay.
And they're in that genre, and I was like, dude, this is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
And like what they were looking for, I was like, that's like right up my alley. So I hit him up and I was like, I don't know where you guys are from because Tokyo Craigslist is just Japan.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know where you're from, but here's my music. You can hear like my voices and stuff like that. And they hit me back. They're like, dude, we really like your stuff. We're down in Tokyo, and I'm like, God damn it. So I'm like, I'm up in Aomori, and like, there's no way I can get down there to like do that. So they're like, well, we do like your stuff, so let's work together anyway. So then their guitarist actually guested on a few of my tracks from my first EP.
Okay.
Haven't been able to do anything with them since because then they did find a singer down there. And then they started blowing up where they were doing like concerts all the time.
Oh, shit.
So like he was like, yeah, sorry, I don't have any spare time to work on anything. So like, I understand. Like, happy for you guys.
I'm pretty sure they probably you talked to them, so they probably was like, all right, cool. Then after you told them, it's like down that area because you got all these bass guys there, you got all these other, jet teachers. So
if I was down there, like I would be doing shows right now.
Yeah, no
like,
shit, man.
And like, there's some people around here that I've heard could maybe, but it's kind of like, I don't know, man. Like I've had some people express interest, then like I hear it and I'm like, it's not. Yeah, I mean, that's quite what I'm looking for.
It's being honest, man, because it's not just going to waste your time.
Yeah,
it's going to waste their time and everything. So
for now, it's just me. A lot of my music is. I like rock, so like I need guitars in the music. So a lot of what I do, I get guitarist out of Colorado that I work with. He's doing something for the current album. There's another guitarist out of California, which I've been working with him a bit. My brother is down in Florida, and there's another guitarist in Nashville. So like, I'll hit them up and be like, I think your style would match this. I send them the audio, they record things, send me back stems, and then mix it in.
Yeah, that's the dope part, man, about the new age stuff, man. Is like even the industry guys, like dudes, like back in the day, you did a feature, you had to be there.
You had to actually like get to the studio.
Now the dudes are like like you said, on a non-industry level have home studios, so those guys got like studios in their basement. So most guys now they don't even see each other anymore. They just record. Your lawyer signs a contract. I get paid this amount. Yeah. Get my name on there. Blah blah blah. Then collect money.
I did a track. This was a couple years back. Yeah, and it was the dude in California. And this is actually the rapper in UK. This is actually how I met him. We were all in a forum because we all use the same software. So this guitarist posted up. He's like, I made this song. I need vocalists. And so me and the other dude were both like, yeah, we're down. So the rapper took the verses, I took the choruses and the bridge, and then he sends the track, we send it back to stems, we mix it all together, and now we got this like 3-way project. Yeah, and it was cool, and like that kind of stuff.
Nobody knows. Back in the day, man, like that was like crazy. So now dudes are like, it's like crazy, man. Dudes are even doing like dudes are on tour buses and going to like they touring, and then they got like a little booth or whatever inside there, and they got like the thing now I seen where. It's like you put your head inside put your head inside the thing, and it's just like enough so your vocals are like
just to give you some clean audio, man.
It's like technology is crazy, but that's like you say good, but again at the same time like there's some stuff where they're like, oh man, he could have kind of worked in that.
Yeah,
more,
there's.
man.
I think it's good because it makes it accessible for everybody.
Yeah.
It's bad because because it's accessible for everybody, it doesn't filter out the people that shouldn't be there.
Because even I'm pretty sure
everybody can do it now.
Because even SoundCloud, man, like I used to stream it live. I used to before I got in the podcast. Because actually, that's how I got into it. I was because I didn't know I knew I knew guys did radio shows, right. But like I was on SoundCloud. And I used to just push, because SoundCloud is like every 3 seconds somebody's uploading something. So I would just stream it. And then one day I was like working on the car and it was just talking. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I go over there and the guy, it just says something podcast. And then I went, the guy, it's the same thing how I do. I upload it to SoundCloud. Then because the audio, is quicker. Yeah. And then I would put the video on. So I went follow the link, went to YouTube, and then it was like, the studio and everything. And then I found Joe Rogan podcast, and then I felt that like a rabbit hole. All his guys, then all their guys. Like, so I started following all these guys. So before I started mine, I just watched like for about 4 months, like or listened to podcasts. Then some formats are cool. Some things. So that's why I like when you ask about like what I need props and stuff like that. I just like the free flowing. Like we just jumped all around. Yeah. Because that's how most people talk. You know what I mean? I think when you do topics, it kind of locks everything in. And even though this is actually on the automotive channel, and guys are not expecting to talk about music, but everybody out there who drives a car is into music. They do stuff.
Either so making it or listening to it.
They learn about my guys, yourself, and so I was going to make a new channel. I was like, dude, I got 5,400 subscribers. Just whatever. Just keep building. So I've actually got more. I've actually made. I made $100, man, like last month, man. Oh, nice. Yeah, and that was from making nothing in like 5-6 years. Okay, yeah. Because I just stopped. I had a contract agreement dispute with GT Network. I just got out of that because are you familiar with MCM, the multi-channel networks? No. It's pretty much where they see your stuff is decent and they pretty much take your money. So because it's like they came to me like, oh, we want to sign you, and it's I guess it's like a contract, and everybody you hear the horror stories of people getting signed, and then like after they get knowledge, you're like, that was a bad mistake, man. And it's like you see, I signed with these guys, they were taking 60% of my earnings, and I was getting like the rest.
But were they actually doing anything?
Nothing. They were doing nothing.
Promotion or anything.
When initially I was emailing the guy every time a video came out, which they should have been seeing. And then promoting it. So that first couple of months, I was like, dude, why the fuck am I messaging you? Like, you guys are taking my money, and they're taking more money than I'm getting. And then every time I would tell a guy I want to leave, oh man, your views are doing this. I'm like, dude, I got 200 views on that shit. So so basically it was my channel and like 30 others, and this dude's like driving a fucking Lamborghini around, and it's kind of one of those live and learn things. And I finally I didn't. So what I did. Because he wouldn't let me out the contract, I just didn't post nothing. Like I didn't post anything, so that lost me subscribers. And
I saw, because I was looking back when I heard about your podcast, looking back your history, and this is like a big gap. Like it went from like there was some videos of you in college, and then like a little bit of racing, and then suddenly the Pink Style podcast, like in the last
because I was doing a bunch of videos. I was doing a bunch of videos. They were just videos, and then I didn't start actually talking. Like putting my face on the videos until somebody was asking me about like my time in Japan. That was like around about 2000, right after I got the military. It was like 2000 whatever. So before it was just videos. Right. Then that dried up because everybody was making videos. And then for me, every time I would drift, I would put the camera on. Then I'm like, all right, well after about 50 of those, it's getting boring. It's kind of so people wanted to like they started asking me questions, and then like that started getting like the big buzz. And I started collaborating with people and everything. But all in all, man, it's just you know what I mean? It just kind of, it's worked out. So anyway, like, that's how I got into doing this stuff right now, man. It's pretty cool. Jets. Yeah. You guys out there hearing us, we're like football throw field away from the base and everything. So you hear the Jets taking off in tandem and stuff like that, man. So what about you? Do you have a YouTube channel or anything like that?
I do. I haven't put anything on there in a while. It's mostly,
you got to put your installs on there, man. Or you want to make a separate one for the Wickaudio?
I'd keep that kind of stuff. I would keep separate. It's like because my music is like it's really artist based, so like I don't really mix the two.
Yeah. I got 4 channels, but I only posted this one. So
I've got Yeah, I may do install videos later.
Yeah.
Like if I'm end up in a shop, then
Yeah.
that would be something that'd be more feasible. But for right now, yeah, it's mostly like it started to be album art and then just the music, and then I started doing edits and stuff, animating some things to kind of go with it. I haven't put the last couple I haven't done. They got auto generated by the distributor company, so it's got the album right there, which is kind of like. Whatever. I need to get back. Like I wanted to make some music videos, but like I can't find anybody that's got that does that.
Yeah, it's actually I'll link you up with a guy here in town that does this stuff. Because I mean, even though like I said, it doesn't matter their music. He does a DJ, so it's not like I don't operate in junk. I don't like when people try to like. Because I mean, to be straight up really honest, not mixing words. Like people assume because again you're a black guy from the city, you got to do this, and then I'm like, dude. So people like, oh, like I'm this guy from Wisconsin, it's nothing but country. I'm like, you don't have to do that. That's because who you grew up around said this is what we listen to and this is what's acceptable. So again, I remember, man, growing like when I was wondering why when I got older, I want to go to sleep to music. My dad, I remember, my dad actually used to put it on a rock channel when he was sleeping at night and everything. So. Actually, when I make my music, guitar riffs is my favorite part, my favorite sample. Like, and I got a bass. I try to learn how to play it, so I played it enough to do some bass lines and everything. Because natural, bass is cool, generated bass, but the natural, like Dr. Dre, his is a lot of bass slaps and a lot of bass, man.
It feels different.
Yeah,
like
I actually made the whole vibe, man. Yeah. So it's basically what I'm saying is like I don't let people lock me into like that because again I got just as much rock as I got electronica. Again, country don't really do nothing for me. You know what I mean? So it's just, but everybody doesn't listen to everything. Yeah. But it's kind of cool how that works and everything. But I just as far as the music overall, man, like right now it's just I think all genres, man, right now just have an issue where again there's so many people out there. You got Bandcamp, you got Spotify, you got all these different places where people upload. It's good to get out there, but again, it's like wading through the stuff, and then the bigger industries guys stealing because that's I had a few beats stolen, and it's because I'm just doing it like as a hobby thing, and then like these guys like the track, and then they have the lawyers. So I've had guys like, hey man, you sold a beat to this guy. It's like, nah, I never even met that guy. And then they stole a track, changed some hi-hats, changed some and they contact the owner of the music. They got rights to it. So it's like, I'm ass out, man. Yeah. So that took actually, music-wise, if you look at my SoundCloud, actually there was, again, the same thing how my videos, there was a gap. Because as soon as that happened, man, I didn't put nothing online. Yeah. And then I was like, you know what, man, I'm doing this. I don't want to say for fun because I'm putting 3 hours, 4 hours into one track. So it's not really like a fun thing, but I don't know how to say it, man. It's something
you care about. Yeah, but it's work.
And somebody just took it because they had lawyers, man. And it's like, once I seen that part of the industry, and I spent the whole day just reading all this publisher clearinghouse stuff and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, and then the thing was like, blah 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 blah. You need a lawyer. And that's all I read. Keep seeing. It's like all this stuff. You need a lawyer. So it doesn't matter how much you read. What guys used to do back in the day is I guess they would take they write the song, then mail it to themselves, and then and then
we did that back in the day. The poor man's copyright.
Yeah. So then I got into the copyright stuff. Actually, it's not too involved, but it's you gotta mail stuff off and do this and and then at the end $120 or $100 or whatever. I'm like, dude, I got 350 tracks. Yeah, I'm not gonna use.
Yeah, we did back in the day, the poor man's Patton, like when we did albums, and I would mail a copy to each member of the band, so we all had a seal.
And you just don't open it.
So you never open it. Then if you go to court, you can show I have it, government's date stamp on it, whatever. But any more like it's a lot of work. So
even on a digital copy, like I remember. Again, I was really pissed about the last one that happened because the guy's actually, the reason I didn't really trip because the guy's actually a really good rapper. He actually is a good, coherent rapper, not the mumble shit. And so I was like, it's cool that, I was kind of like at the end of it, like that's kind of cool that somebody seen my beat. Because the thing about the track, again, I said it on a few podcasts already. This particular track that I sampled was from an electronica group somewhere in Europe, which there's 1,000 of them. And this was like they made, because electronica album, they have like 20, 30 albums. And this was like the 24th album, like the 18th track or whatever. It wasn't like you just stumble on this particular one. So I got a lot of stuff, man. And they seen it, they changed it around a little bit, but the main of the basics of it was still my track. And that happened, man. So again, that kind of took the wind out of my sails a little bit, and I was like, man, well, I'm not gonna assist these guys in making millions or how much they're making. I'm not making nothing, because I'm like, dude, look, if you want to work together, just like, hey, man, like, you know what I mean? So I kind of felt that way about it. Yeah. But they don't, because I sampled it. It's not my music, and they got it cleared, so they're more actually in the right than I am, because. Yeah, but I wasn't using it for, there. Yeah, because I wasn't using mine for resale though. Because I think I don't know. I think is if you sell over 5,000 or 10,000 copies, from that point, anything on that album or whatever, it has to be cleared. If it's under that amount and you're just selling it for 5 or whatever, it's not a big deal. Yeah.
I think with that. Yeah, when you get like sampling, that's one thing with sampling is that there's a huge gray area in like how things are done. You can get fucked on it.
And you don't want to create a whole 20-track album off of one artist, because some artists do say they don't want, especially, and it's more so for a lot of them don't want to be attached to hip hop. Because they have an idea of what it is. They see the shit on a TV, and they think that's hip hop, and it's actually not. I mean, that's just like the TV shit. So some guys, they'll say, or if you're saying any curse words, some artists have actually said they don't want. Yeah. So then you make now you got to take 5 songs which are really good songs, and you can't use them. Yeah. So like that's where it gets, if you don't know it, if you don't, that's where you get really screwed.
It does. You're right. It gets. It gets complicated.
Yeah,
and like
very quick.
Yeah, where with the synthesizer side, it's definitely like if I had to prove something was mine, like I've created all the sounds in there, and like I have the original files which are dated from way back.
You save it,
like it'll show like when I last modified it and stuff. So like I could prove that it's mine. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like where this guy, I'm like, okay, produce a production file. Yeah, like, where is it? You know what I mean? Like, and he. Well, it didn't appear for him until, so like in that way, it is a lot easier, I think, to defend that stuff. Right. But it's still, there's a lot now that's just.
Man, there's too much out there, sticky. Man. But anyway, man, like I say, for that stuff, man, so I'm definitely interested, and I'm hearing about that, man. I don't want to, like I said, we will definitely do this again, man. Okay, I don't hold you too long, because I gotta get some business stuff done, of course, man. It's the tax, man. It's crazy, man. It's October 20, what's the day, 23rd, 24th?
Sure.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, so like, I gotta do taxes. Well, I already done the paperwork and everything. Right. And that's one of the biggest things, like that's why, again, being over here,
your own business.
Yeah, that's the part everybody sees the Instagram and the cars and all that stuff, but they don't see the end of year and the tax. Japanese really don't screw around.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, me and the wife had a bar here before. Yeah, doing the taxes was like with my day job, like Japanese company does the taxes. Yeah. But when you are the company, oh, dude, that was rough.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because you gotta account for all this stuff, and then
make sure we had the receipts for like everything.
Everything. Just, I say that. Speaking of receipts, man, like I save every receipt, and I let them determine if they want to take it out, because. If you go to like Universe, and like they don't know if you're buying it for your house. Well, actually, if you put like kids Huggies in there, or kids like diapers or whatever, they're like, it's not. But if you just put like all meat, you could be throwing a party or barbecue, which write it off. Yeah. So like trying to separate things. I mean, it's real, but the one thing now is I've actually applied for got some small loans just to see if I can get in the door, and like they want to see like all the stuff, and then like what are you going to buy and all that stuff like that. So it's I'm on a 5-year visa. So
okay, nice.
Next I've applied for the permanent visa. So what about you? Are you like on?
I'm on a 3-year. They gave me 3 1-year visas in a row, and then finally gave me a 3-year.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. So I got 3 year. Then I got a now I'm on a 5-year. I just got that issue.
Yeah, I got a buddy who like he came over, got a 5-year immediately.
What did his wife do though?
I'm not even sure that his wife does anything, but his wife's parents are like low.
See, so that's the thing.
I guarantee it comes down to money.
That's why. So they check everything. So like the reason I got my 5 is because of this.
Yeah.
Because the reason I got the 5 years is because we got on record 3 kids. And so it's like they see that it's pretty much they want to see what do you have tying you here, because the kids is not enough, actually, believe it or not, because they know the Americans will just leave, or they'll just leave and everything. So when I showed them my business license, that was like, oh well, he's not gonna just leave on this. I think that's why I got, because when I was first here I was working with On Time, and like that pays right, and they
absolutely nothing. So I was getting those 1-year things. After I had been at my teaching job for like a year, a little over a year, then the next visa I got a 3-year.
Yeah, that's why.
Because I had a lot more income, and it was a bit more steady than a. And plus they look at it like, oh, well, he's actually showing he's showing Japanese kids that speak English. They're gonna grow up. They're gonna be business bilingual and make this. They look at. I mean, it's kind of. Yeah. I mean, from us, it's like, man, come on, man. We're not here to cause like with malice intention or stuff like that. But it's like, I was actually kind of pissed, man, through the last process, because I'm like, look, man, I'm a fucking business owner. I pay taxes. I never miss taxes. I never miss all this stuff. And then not saying that I'm better than somebody, but I think there should be a different process for different guys. I mean, different. If you just arrived here, and it's trying to get a wife, and then it's different. But if you had history here, you didn't do anything bad, stuff like that, I think it should be different categories, because I was actually really needing my visa to get approved, and they actually extended my first one. So during that extension period is good, but you can't do anything, like you can't initiate anything, like a bank loan. Right. They're like, all right, yeah, cool. When they get approved, then come back. Yeah. So I was like, fuck, man, I really need this, and then I missed out on what I needed a loan for, and I was like, well, I'll need it now. Yeah. I've been waiting. I think I'm going to apply for permanent this year, because I'd been waiting, because they want to see your taxes from the last 3 years. And I was like, but now that I've been at the English job for more than 3 years, all my taxes will show that level of income and everything.
You're definitely
I was like, I didn't really want to have On Time on there as like, oh, what happened to that year? Like,
definitely, do it now, man, because I did. I actually applied for my 3-year was coming up. Well, actually, it was 3 years coming up expired. Now I know. Like, I thought you could just go there on that day, and like that was a bad. So like that was a lesson learned.
How long did it take?
So basically, everything? Like, you want to do, like, if your thing is coming up, is it going to expire for the guys out there? If it's going to expire on July 24th, you need to be doing that 2 months prior, man, because it could be quick. So that way, it'll be, if it's going to expire July 24th and you do it 2 months prior, they won't, sometimes if it's too early, that you can't do it. But if it's like within that window, you can apply for it, and then it'll take that amount of time. Because actually, I applied for mine, it took 3 weeks.
I know, like, if you're just applying for another visa, it can't be too early.
Well, that's the thing. But I was like, man, well, I wanted to find out how soon is good enough, is good, because that helped me back. I couldn't do anything from that. I couldn't do anything major, because I was like kind of like in purgatory, because if they canceled it for that reason, then I had to like get out of town.
Because what I'm asking is like because I know, like, when you go to get it, like, okay, well, mine's going to expire, I need to get another one. Right. You can't do it more than like so early or whatever. But for the permanent,
you just submit it.
I think you can do that anytime, right?
So that's what we did before that was dumb to do, because I kind of thought I would go in there, because what happened when the first time I got mine, a guy came in there and got his. What I didn't know, because I didn't know the whole. He actually did all that 2 months prior. So he was just coming there to get his, like, when I got my actual card. Yeah. So then, like, same thing, when I got my actual card approved, I walked in 5 minutes, I walked out. So
you gotta get the postcard in the mail,
right?
And then
exactly. I'm like, so when the fuck's this gonna come, man? And I'm like, dude, I need this shit to happen like now. And I'm like, look, and I was getting pissed, because I'm like, I'm pretty understandable how Japanese are. I'm like, look, dude, I'm like, they should have, like, I'm look at my fucking taxes, look at, I have a business here, you can trace all this stuff back, and I'm like, dude, this should be different. I think honestly, there should be different. It should just be different classes for those. I mean, I want to say like, you know, because not saying like we're better than other people applying, but it's like, I mean, again, you're teaching in school, you're doing different things. You're not just coming over here on a school trip and then deciding you want to be a Japanese citizen.
Right.
So I think there should be a different classes for different people, level 1, level 2, level 3. But again, you see, I mean, you seen firsthand that they kept giving you 1 year, which means that they don't see the value in you, and they want to say it nicely, but that's what it means.
Yeah, they don't give you any reasons, but like based on like a few different friends and the visas they got, and like it all came down to finance. Like the only difference between us is financial situation.
That's it, man.
Like I had one guy got 3-year right away. His situation was a little better. The one guy got a 5-year, and then like a year later got his permanent.
Yep.
But yeah, he's much better off. And then another friend who like me got 1 year, but we were both working like.
So again, the reason I'm bringing it up because a lot of people watch this. They treat about Japan and the that's pretty much what it is, man. It sucks that it's like that, but they pretty much write all you kind of know it. You know what it is when you're writing it down, like, you know, how many wife status, who you live with, kids, who bring, because all my stuff was showing me like making the cash and everything. And then, like I say, now I know I'm going to get the permanent because, again, I've showed 3 years of taxes. Only thing that kind of is looking what I need this year to be better. I think they're waiting on that because you apply for it, which I've done, but they don't say when it's going to be done. I applied for it 5 months ago.
Could be anytime, yeah.
So what they're waiting for now, I know it is my taxes. And last year I was actually deficient because the first 2 years I made over, and the last year because it was some shit went down, and then like, you know, I had 1 month I had we had a kid or whatever, something happened where it just wasn't a productive year. And I'm like, look, man, like I don't understand the way you guys are doing things here, but it's like as long as I'm paying taxes and submitting them, it shouldn't matter how, because they were like getting angry, like what happened here and what. I'm like, because they were speaking English to me. I'm like, it don't fucking matter what happened. Like as long as my bills, I pay my landowner and I submit taxes, it don't fucking matter. But they, you know why, is because they don't make, if I don't make taxes, if I don't make over, they don't make money. So it's like the same thing. They're trying to be nice about it, but it's pretty much like if you ain't contributing, I mean, I don't think they can take my license from me, because I mean, there's a lot of business over here just scraping by. Yeah. But basically, man, that's what it comes down to, man. It's like they look at your whole shit and then like, I don't think he's worth it or whatever. Because I mean, if fucking Beyonce come over here and then she wanted to stay, it's a thing about them.
The elite entertainer thing, or the special persons.
Yeah, because that's I didn't know about that time. I'm like, man, so they pretty much get a visa just based on being, if 20 million people know you and you can prove it, like you're considered a different. A different thing. So actually, I used that. I used it. I used the magazine things. I used the YouTube stuff. Okay, and then I added up everything, and like they can go back and search it. I was like, well, I have over 1 million followers, which I do, but they're not in the same place. Right. And then like
cumulative.
Yeah, cumulative. so like, oh, 1 million followers, and like, I was like, cool. And one guy is like, he's like, can I have an autograph? I was like, nah, that's your boo. I don't know. So, but yeah, man, it's
whip out a pink Sharpie.
But yeah, man, it's kind of, I was getting angry, man, because you know when when the earthquake happened, man, we was the first to help out and things like that. But if you say that, it's like, you know, they don't care about it. And it's so I mean, I like it here, man. So that's what I kind of want to ask you too, man, because I was thinking about what I want to say. As far as like your overall like I guess opinion or appeal to Japan, man, how do you feel it is, like, you know, being a gaijin here from your perspective?
I like it. Like, me personally, it's good. I don't think necessarily it's for everybody. I mean, I think just about everybody that comes over here does go through their like weeb stage. Oh yeah. It's like, Japan is awesome. Yeah. But like once you grow out of that, like for me, you're gonna realize. So for some people, it's not for them. Yeah. Some people it's like, it's kind of like how. A lot of it depends on your situation. How soon do you experience like real Japan? Yeah. Beyond tourist Japan. So like
it's like when you walk somewhere and they're like, who the fuck are you? Like,
So like, I mean, I do have some friends that they're just like they're glad to have left, but most people want to come back.
Yeah, you see
that.
It's
kind of like you do end up with that. It's like I like it. I mean, like I said, like even Like even living in Misawa, like it's kind of country up here and everything.
Yeah.
Which I hated living in the country in the States.
Yeah, different.
I hated it. But here, like I don't mind it.
You see, it's kind of expanding. Like they about to put a Starbucks there. They got the Cocoa
it's
Ichiban.
growing and stuff. But the like country here is not the same as country in the States.
Yeah.
And like so that was better. Like I still prefer city life, but aside from like this, really it's just the snow and the cold, man.
Yeah, man.
Like I hate the cold.
Yeah, it's the summers and springs here are like kind of like magical.
When it changed, like I got so many like sports injuries from high school and stuff. Like
everything
hurts in the winter. Like my knees, my hip, elbows, shoulder. I got my jaw was fucked up.
What'd you play in high school?
Played a lot of like baseball, soccer. Like a lot of it was like street stuff, like street basketball, and like you know what I mean. But like we went really hard. Like, well, I got 3 brothers, and like we used to invite other kids over from the neighborhood and be us versus them, and we destroyed people. Yeah. And we were
older or younger, or
I'm the oldest.
Oh no, same.
So like we would go out when we were by ourselves, like we were super competitive. Like we would go out and drill ourselves, and like we'd like playing football. Yeah. And like I was the oldest, I was quarterback, and I had my brothers running down, and we'd have them practicing. You'd run a certain number of steps and dive out of bounds and drag your feet, then look and catch the ball. And like so that's what we did. Like I would throw it before they got there, and when they turned, it was there and they catch it. So we would do that to like. So then we'd invite our friends over, and we would do that shit to them. Just like we just fuck with them. Yeah. Like it'd be like no matter what they did, like they couldn't. Yeah. Like it's like watch this. I'm gonna throw this impossible throw, and like you're not gonna get anywhere near it. My brother's gonna catch it before you realize the ball's
like
over
the O'Doyle's, man.
So we do that shit, but we played super rough. Like even when we'd play like. You know, our friends, we don't want to play tag. We'll play tag. But yeah, we got injured with tag. That's when my hip got fucked up. Oh yeah. Yeah, I tackled my brother and pissed him off, and so he decided to tackle me back. And the way I landed, he was young, smaller, and he knew he couldn't like really take me down. So he like tried to run up and then just with momentum like land on my upper back and it'd be enough to take me down, which it did. But when I landed on my knee, and instead of my leg folding up forward up to my chest, it hit straight and jammed straight up into the hip socket. And like I heard something crack, and like I guess it was some cartilage. I didn't even tell my parents about it. We were just like, yeah, whatever, I'm good. Like, you know, walk it off. Yeah. So did that for everything. Now, my ankles, knees, everything's fucked. But I've played soccer like forever. Okay. My dad played semi-pro, so like I grew up around it. He coached university level. Okay. So like, so I played competitive soccer for quite a while. Baseball, growing up, played a lot of baseball.
I remember you mentioned sport, because I'm a big sports guy too. As far as playing, I don't really follow too much. But remember when I posted event, so did you do any training before? Or?
Yeah, I was didn't last long. I was only there for like 2 months. This is basically I was working on base, then ended up off base. Didn't really have access to the group, but I was going like. You and me like missed each other. It was the same group on base with Gomez and all them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like you had stopped because you were busy with business. Yeah. I had started, and then when I ended up off base, then you started up like a month after I stopped.
Because I actually got those guys. They probably told you like I was the first person I introduced them to
involved from the start.
So actually the Masawa grappling page is mine.
Okay.
Then, so then they made theirs, and I'm like, man, look, everybody just forward over to there, because what they did was like what we were trying, because actually there was a bunch of groups before them, because there was a bunch of guys, man. So it would be like a couple of guys for like 4 months or whatever, then a guy at PCS. Yeah. So when Gomez family came, it was all time. It was 7 days a week.
Oh yeah, they were like at it.
So like they met me 2 months before they came here, and Rick, we talked a bunch, and then their first day here. I forgot they were coming. He said, "Hey man, we're here," and I'm like, "Where?" I was like, "We're at the gym." I'm like, "Alright." It's like, "All right, man, I'll be over there." So we rolled that first day, and I was like, that first day, I'm like, these are fucking different, man.
Oh yeah, they're like their family is about it. So like I was working at the Fit Pit at the time. Yeah. And so like I would go like after work, dip into there and meet up, and their family, dude. Like when I wasn't rolling, like I would just be like watching them and just seeing what they did.
Yeah,
like,
dude,
they were on a different level. Like man. I learned a lot just watching. Yeah. Like, and yeah, it was, dude, that, like, soccer's my favorite sport, but jiu-jitsu is the most, like, the most fun I've ever had.
Yeah, it gets you, it's a chance.
Yeah.
Number one, it's people try to deny it, man, but like for me, it's when I play football and I play lacrosse and wrestling, man, all those are very physical, and it's like a primal thing, man. Like, back in caveman, dudes weren't just sitting around playing they were like throwing spears and running around and fight. Yeah, that's like. And over the years, people have gotten civilized and not doing all that stuff. But I mean, when you get into combat stuff, it's like it's a different euphoria. It's a different.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's the most like fun I've ever had. Even when I was like losing, like it sucked, but I was like, let's go again.
Yeah, you choking dudes and then who chokes people and then like slap hands and like, hey man, that was a good choke.
Like, nice job. Yeah, go again.
Yeah, so it's like
the first time I got somebody on a Kimura and I was like,
that's my favorite move, man.
This is like the best thing ever.
Yeah,
yeah.
Because actually, after you started, how long did you roll until you got your first like real submission where somebody was actually resisting?
Not long, or a couple weeks.
Yeah, so that like felt weird, right?
Like it was, I mean, it was against other, but the other thing was like, I'm like, oh, you're right.
Oh shit, man. My bad.
I think the drops are on like either side.
My bad.
Like I'm a small dude, which has its benefits. Like for a lot of the guys, it was really hard for them to get me off my feet just because like my center of balance is, I'm center of gravity is super fucking low. But like they had these long arms and legs, man. Like some of the dudes just like wrap around me, and I'm like, so I got it was a few weeks in and had this other dude a lot bigger than I was, but he like, I don't know, he went in like, also like, I think too, like some of those guys like too when they're new, like they're fresh to anything wrestling.
Yeah, it's called
like,
spaz.
I grew up with 3 brothers, like that's all we did.
Yeah,
was like wrestle and grapple, and like we didn't have training, but like you still like you learned like naturally like some just movements you feel and stuff.
Yeah.
So like by no means like proficient or anything. I'm just, but like it's different from like 0-0 to like having done something.
Yeah.
So and like even in high school, like I did mess with dudes who did wrestling and like could hold my own. Getting there, that first submission, dude, and I had him, and I was like, I could tell, like, I got to a point where I was like, he can't get away from this. And I was like, and he didn't tap yet. I was like, there we go.
But that was generous, man, because a lot of guys, and that's what I tell you, had some experience because a lot of dudes, even I was that guy for like 2 weeks, and then the guy's like, dude, like I tell the story before, the guy was like, dude, like you're strong, fast, but the thing about it, like, it's kind of like, jumping in the ocean and trying to fight a shark or whatever. When a guy knows what they're doing, they're just going to like sit there and wait for you to like do all this stuff. Then when you're tired, bam, they got you. Yeah. So I was a spaz. And now like you see the new guys, I went back, I think when, who was the last day? God damn it. I forgot his name, man. Ace. I don't know if you knew Ace, but Ace left out. And I went there, and the guy was getting promoted or whatever. Okay. So I didn't train in like 5 or 6 months. So I was like, and these guys train every night. So I was like, I'm not going to go in there and try to, because I can be faster, but I was just conditioning.
Right.
So the guy was like Brandon. He was like actually submitting all those guys. So I just let him go. I just let him like, he was throwing all this stuff, and I was just like avoiding it or whatever. And then after he's like, I felt his arms. I could feel like you could feel when it's like it's just like full of blood because it's hard. It's like extra hard. It's like, all right, well, he's worn out now. So then I turned it on and like I sprinted for like a minute. Yeah. And then I just submitted him. He's like, hey man, where you at the whole time? Like running the shop. So like I don't even train in that. I mean, I'm a purple. So it's just like I mean, everybody goes through the same phase, man. That first phase, like, what the fuck am I doing? Yeah. And then after you get the rhythm and everything, man. But yeah, man, as far as I made this here because I'm gonna start bringing my sons here and also the guys off base because actually my school, I'm actually a Parastra student at Hachinohe.
Okay. Oh, you're Parastra.
Yeah, okay. Parastra is my school. Like it's a whole. Again, Rick and us are cool. I'm not into the whole Cobra Kai thing where you can only train here because number one, nobody's gonna tell me what the fuck to do. I want to train where I want to train. So they prefer to not go there, and then they train here. Then there was some drama on the low levels.
I heard about some of it.
It was some stuff, I don't know, boyfriend, girlfriend stuff or whatever, man. I'm like, dude, that I'm just here to do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
And the thing about it, like, all of them collectively, they would start about 8, 9 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night. I'm like, dude, I've already been up since 4 a.m., 3 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing this stuff. So that's why I didn't show up there, because, I mean, if I go there, then I'm not getting out of there. I got to help the family,
Right.
do what I got to do. So it just wasn't complimenting me. So some of the guys are going to come here, do stuff, and because I still want to roll, but it's just, I mean, you know, even you look at guys like who was it, Keanu Reeves and Hollywood dudes. They actually are like brown belts and stuff because, they get privates. You don't see them going to like the gym and doing the warm ups, and they don't have time for that, man. And I'm not saying I'm in his level of celebrity, but I'm running an international business. Don't got time for it. So again, that's why I was like, man, I came upstairs the first time like jiu-jitsu. I already called it, and then like, you know, so I got the guy that was here last time. He's going to come here and do because ground game is pretty sufficient, but I want to work on stand up because I want to do some amateur fights. So he's going to come here and do training for that. And again, he comes. He's a personal trainer. He travels, so I got the space. We'll do the training here, and all that. All my gis are in the car. I actually got one here. So I mean, not saying I'm not starting the school. But I mean, if you want to come here and roll, man, like I said, times are different, man. I got gis. I don't know if you got one.
No, I don't.
Yeah,
yeah.
You definitely.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I could definitely. Yeah. I mean, I know everything that a purple belt should know. And,
okay.
And I've submitted black belt, so it's whatever. The whole belt, the whole color thing, man, is it's a cool thing, but I don't get hung up on it because some people think like, oh, you should be able to do this. It's not. It comes down to ability. And, you know, a lot of times it's just like if I'm 220 pounds and I'm just as fast or faster than the guy, I know the basics, and it's like that's why there's weight classes. But I mean, even the guys that are like, you know, small that are really badass, like at the 80cc's last week, there was a small guy who was submitting all these big dudes. He was like this big, like 140 pounds, but he went through all the big guys with heel hooks. So, and I don't fuck with those, man. But yeah, man, we'll definitely link up on that, man.
That'd be awesome.
And just get some time because actually I haven't really had that. And again, I didn't want to post on the group because I don't want to make it look like I'm trying to take people from there. Right. And it's already kind of like some miscommunications when I go there. People who don't know me, and I don't even be like, yeah, I started this shit, and then like Rick will say it, and then I can see their faces like, okay. And then I would come there one time, roll, and then leave and everything, and it's like I actually, you know. I did start it, but that's not my thing, man. Yeah. So it's whatever, man. I kind of one of those guys, man. I'll sit back and I don't feel the need. I mean, podcasts is different because people want to hear you talk about it. Right. But I don't, you know, I'll just show up somewhere like, yeah, I know a little bit, and then I roll and then like, oh, you actually know a lot of shit, man.
Yeah. But I miss it, man. That was like one of those things. Like I was there for a short time, but it was it was really awesome.
So Frank was there. Was Frank there when you went there?
Yeah, Frank. I think Frank was still newish to the sport.
Well, no, like, actually, Frank. He was because Frank did it. That's why he went from white to now he's brown because he was actually before Rick came here. He was doing it before, and we worked together at PAX Terminal. So when I met Frank, I had my gi one day wrapped up. And I was going to a para-estra, and he's like, "Oh, you roll too?" And then I didn't know. Like he was like, "Yeah, I roll," because he's Hawaii. So he was actually rolling like 4 or 5 years. I think even more longer.
Okay, then maybe he was new coming back or something.
Yeah, he was new. He was like that was his. He was coming. He was like off for like 7 years.
All right.
Then he came back, and that's why he progressed so fast.
So then like I knew they were talking about him like he was kind of new, so it must have just been coming back.
Yeah, he was just coming.
He hadn't been there that long before I started.
And he's the type of guy, he's not going to talk about like what he did before. He'll just like, yeah, I'm new. Like,
so like he seen new, but like I was like he clearly was better than a lot of the other new people. So
he's the main instructor now. He's brown, legit brown. Yeah. And everything, so it's and that's why I talked to him, man. I understand this position because I was like, hey man, you mind? Because I was like, man, I'll pay you for like the because you're taking time out of doing whatever because I just want to do privates. So now I got we talked a little bit. He's gonna probably come through, and then I got Hajime. I don't know if you met him, but that whole Hajime, Nakano, all those guys that trained at the judo dojo.
Oh yeah, so, by the park.
Yeah, so I know. See, they were all para-estra, and then some shit happened there. Then they like, oh, I don't want to be associated. So I don't know what happened there. I don't even want to ask, man, because I'm just interested in martial arts, they stay over there. Those guys stay over here. Then it's like base. So they kept calling me Masawa. I'm like, dude, I'm a paraextra student. Like I'm still on the roster. And it's kind of just because they got my first blue belt and stuff like that. So it's just my thing is not getting involved in the drama, man. And I just want to roll. And then that's the thing about it is I can go to any schoolhouse, walk in there, because some schools actually won't. Believe it or not, they don't like outsiders for whatever reason. So they won't allow you, because I mean they're like it's childish, man. It's Cobra Kai versus Miyagi-Do type shit, man. So it's whatever, man. But that was cool, man. I didn't know like you were into it, and I seen you say you want to get back into it. I was like,
I've been wanting to get back, and it's like the only thing, everything was on base, and I'm like, with the way I work, like I can't, like,
but there's off base option because again they were training when stuff went down on base with Gomez and them. I know you know about that stuff. When that went down, they were actually already training off base, and they trained at the the dojo at the judo dojo. That's something happened there. So now they train at the they were always training at the Masawa gym. So which
one's that?
This the one right by the city hall.
Oh, okay, right.
So City Hall and that gym.
Training in there?
Right. Because the Nakano.
When are they training in there?
I'll get the dates again because I think it's like Tuesdays and Thursdays. But again, it's the same. It's off base, but it's still about 7.
Yeah. See, I don't finish work till almost 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
I'm not back in Masawa till usually 10:30. So that's the problem. It's like,
it's definitely So I'll probably get like something going here. I'll talk to those guys. And I'll just get your work schedule when you're off is pretty set. Like
I'm off Mondays and Wednesdays.
Yeah. So I mean, my thing, man, is just like general rolling. Like I'm not trying to set up no classes, man. Like just warm up and go.
Do it. Yeah. Like
and it's nothing against drilling. Drilling has a purpose. Drilling you need more than 2 people, but like rolling and doing things. Like, I mean, I definitely I can definitely get you up to speed on things.
Like I just want to like learn some stuff and do it like kind of like for fun, for exercise, and just knowing how to do stuff. Like I'm not trying to compete or like that kind of stuff. At least at this point.
I got a couple.
I see him.
With the but it's
I'm not saying I would never compete, but just for now.
Everybody says they won't, man. But like I say, just what you told me about the sports and your brothers. You'll get the competitive thing, and it's cool because you'll train with those guys all the time, and then from there you'll it's like you train with the same guys over and over and over. Then you learn that, like he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that. So at that point, he knows.
I picked up on a few of them that they had. Something
it's like a go-to.
It was like they would always, and so like there was a couple of them, they were better than me, but like I learned that like in this position they'll wait for me to overwork, and then they'll I made it seem like they could take my back, but I was positioned like I was ready for them, and as soon as they reached for it, I had their arm bent around backwards. And it was just but it was something like we used to do to my brothers, like, because they would always like try to go for a headlock or something. It was just, so it was like, wait, this works for that. And it was like,
there's actually that poster right here, the top right, the one with the cornrows. She just won a championship belt back. She used to train in Hachinohe Paraestra, and then she just was beating everybody here. I mean, she for her weight class, she's only like 125 pounds or whatever. And she's fighting Deep Jules is Deep Jules, and then there's like One FC, and there's like, so it's like right there. She's about to go to the next because she's pro. But she was that's why I got the poster there. She sent it to me. She just won her title back this week, and she lost it, and then she beat the girl, got her title back and everything. So
nice.
She's really good, man. And the thing about it, like I was kind of afraid because I was 200 and like 30 something pounds, and I was like, then when I first rode with her, like I actually had to really try to submit her. Like it wasn't like it was not easy. And it's like she had shooting, because she was pretty much going in between my legs and jumping on my back and like a little monkey and shit, man.
That's how fucking Rafi was.
Dude.
Like I'm small, but he was like half of my size, and like he's like at one point he got me in an arm lock. Like before I realized what had happened, like it was just like I was on top going, and suddenly I was like, "Wait, how'd I get here?" Like, so fast.
Yeah, Rafi is crazy, man. Now he's on he's in an adult class now with finally got his blue belt and everything. He's just
Yeah,
they posted this weekend, man. He just rolled in the wrestling too. So they all three.
His wrestling videos, he's brutalizing those people,
dominating people, man. They just like, again, this goes to show, man. When you train, it's like you train something all the time. It's like it's kind of cool, but again, I could take a big gap. It's still you never forget all the stuff you learn, because I've done before I got my purple. I mean, dude, in Iraq, I started in Iraq, man. I had like so many, like a whole year of this what is it? Like it's just like they're not we just roll. We just go there and show up every day. All these guys show up and we roll and we learn, but it's like nobody's giving out stripes there. It's just it's, some guys are there black, nobody never like unified and things like that, because your instructor will say like because actually purple is like, I mean, I can give it out, but I'm like in lieu of who. Like, you can't just be giving out stripes to people and stuff like that. It has to be like in lieu of the instructor or whatever. And actually, I think the rules changed for IBJJF or whatever it's called, that now only Browns can do. So they changed the rules a little bit and everything, because purple used to be able to teach and things like that. As far as like a school, like actual schoolhouse with the dude hanging on the picture and all that stuff.
Like, man. The official.
Yeah, the official. So, I mean, dude, there's guys that I know of some guys, man, that are fake. Like, I seen a guy one week and he was a white, and next week I seen him, he was a blue. He was like, ain't nobody's gonna find him. I'm like, now he's like now he's legit brown, but that blue was like elite. Like, he didn't earn that. He was a judo guy. Another guy. It was not Masawa, but it was what was it? We were in Iraq, Kuwait. And that guy, we came one day to class and everything, and everybody had the belts and everything. And then he came back the next week. I was like, dude, where did you get that blue belt from? Like, I mean, you could buy him.
Yeah. And
he's like, my professor seen the thing that I did to this guy, and he sent me the thing in the mail. I'm like, all right, cool, man. And that was it.
Yeah.
That was it. But then he went back and everything, and then he actually went. So they thought he was a blue. So he skipped white belt himself, because he felt he was a judo guy and he didn't have to do it. And then they promoted him. So now but it's like that blue was not real.
But like, couldn't he have like essentially tested out, like done a skill test and bypassed some levels? Is that
well, I mean, he didn't know, like he couldn't. Normally when you do that, you can't do it like you got to do it like you got to do it in front of somebody.
That's what I mean. Like, you have to like do an official thing, but you could. So he just gave it to himself.
He gave it to himself. And the people do that, man. It's like, but at that level, nobody cares, because it's a blue belt. Even when I got mine, I was like, all right, cool, I'm a blue belt. But then I was like, all right, cool, whatever. It's not until you're brown and black. Brown is people like, all right, well, who's your guy? And then black, they don't fuck around, man. So black, when people do that, black, they do. You see the videos on YouTube, with people getting busted. Like, oh yeah, so who did you get your thing from? Because when black, I mean, I like the way Rick and them do it, because they would give you a certificate through, because it was through their guide and this guy got his for Gracie, then ball this all this shit.
They show
so
like
you gotta
family
know,
tree.
You got to know your lineage and everything. So like, I know my blue belt came from Nishiroka-san, which he got his from. God damn, man, I'm talking about it, and I should know it. But he actually came here and did the damn Yuki Nikai. Yuki Nikai was like a Pinkus fighter that the Gracie made him go blind, kept punching him in the eye. So he lost his eyesight to one of the Gracies. So Yuki Nikai got his from, whoever he got his from. So you could say like the lineage, and then you could prove that I got that. Then my purple belt came from Rick. All right. Then Rick got his from Rick got his promotion from Professor Felt. Then he got his from this guy. Then he got his guy from Carlos Gracie, and so you could track that stuff all back and everything. So if you can't do that, people, when you get your black belt, like that's bad news, man. Then there's people who got like,
because at that level, there's only so many people that are.
But the black belts are now getting crazy now, because now it blew up because of course UFC and everybody's getting into jiu-jitsu and stuff and all that stuff. So now there's more blacks, and what happened now is social media. So like now when guys are faking, like, dude, I don't care if you're gonna roll for 10 years, man. If you're a real legit black belt, just like in my case, I'm a legit purple belt. So there's things that purple belts should be doing, and there's things purple belts should not be doing, no matter how tired you are. You get in your posture, somebody gets in their guard, you posture up. That's just, you do that so many times. But if you're a purple belt and the guy you're in the guy's guard and you're laying flat on his chest, and like, dude's like, I don't think so, man. So it's just things that you should be doing as a purple belt, as a blue belt. And I mean, it is actually written. There's because I do a lot of reading, and there's actually things that say this is what a blue belt should be doing. You know, you shouldn't be doing brown belt stuff because brown belt you can't do heel hooks, stuff like that. So yeah, man, it's pretty deep, man. But yeah, we'll talk about that on the outside, man. I don't want to run it too long. But anyway, man, like just once again, you know, that's the cool thing about this, man. They can kind of keep going. We're just talking.
Yeah,
we're just talking.
It's nice.
So just once again, man, plug your audio and then where people can find you, and also your music, and then I'll get all that stuff, man.
Okay, yeah. So car audio and interior stuff at Wickaudio on Facebook, at Wickaudio IG, Instagram. Music is at Wickline Music everywhere: Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, Instagram, Bandcamp.
Yeah, definitely chuck me that track, man, as soon as you can. Then I'll add.
Yeah,
I'll
I can do that
there.
as soon as we're off.
Yeah. And then, but yeah, man. So again, for all you guys, I mean, you just heard it. You don't gotta remember it. Write it down. I'll put the links at the bottom of the description, so you can click on there, follow all this stuff, and I'll be following it too because I just throw it up in the garage, listen to stuff. So I'll probably listen to your whole catalog that's available before the end of the week. So it's just the way I roll, man. And then do all that stuff. But again, guys, thank you for tuning in for this podcast number 26. Again, like I said, moving right along. Won't be the last time you see Mike on here. You know, we kind of get some more progressions into stuff and have him back on. I have guys back on here and there. And, you know, guys will probably have questions for you and stuff like that.
Cool.
So, again, next time I wanted to talk to you about more like about far as audio and like, you know, stuff you've seen and what people do and all that. You know, we'll talk about it again.
Yeah, get into the more details. So, like, you know, all like,
I wired it up myself, and it's just like you take the thing out and the wires hit you in the face. Yeah, I know you've seen all that.
I do a lot of cleanup.
Yeah.
I do a lot of cleanup in these installs.
Shit, man. I remember every car I get from Japanese, man, I get take all the old ass CD changers out and all that stuff and pull all stuff from under the carpet. And it's just like a big pile of wires and all the old gear, man. Like, all that old stuff, old tweeters and all that stuff. But again, guys, thanks for tuning in. Remember to send the podcast questions and things to podcast@pinkustyle.com, and I'll answer those within end of the podcast or whatever, more than a solo tip and everything. But again, thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and all that good stuff. No ads to promote, stuff like that. And I'll see you guys on episode number 27 soon. So again, take care. See you guys later.